As the Wildcats of Weymouth High take on the Blue Eagles of Plymouth. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ducharme. I'll call your play-by-play as the Wildcats, winners of their last two, take on a Blue Eagle football team, winners of their last three, as collision of two winning streaks making their way to Romano Field as the Wildcats hoping to continue on the winning ways heading into Thanksgiving when they face the Boxers of Brockton. As for the Blue Eagles, they will be playing their traditional Thanksgiving Day game against Silver Lake. The atmosphere at this game, the game prior to Thanksgiving, seemingly very business-like for both these football teams. As the Wildcats and the Blue Eagles getting ready to square off in this one. And prior to the game, I talked to Weymouth High head football coach Joe Kelly, and we talked about the fact that the Wildcats, winners of their last two, have done it in dramatic fashion in the past 2 weeks. And what about this week? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crowd still making their way into Romano Field as we're about set to get things underway. Plymouth winning the toss and electing to receive. As the Wildcats in their visiting white shirts, maroon pants, getting set to kick off to the Blue Eagles as they get set from Romano Field. As Adam Good signals everybody, and the Wildcats try the onside kick, and it rolls loose, and Weymouth will have it. As the Wildcats, Michael Taylor did the onside kick, and the Wildcats recover. Scott Gerard fell on the football. Weymouth first and 10 at the Plymouth 41 as the Wildcats come out the way they wanted to. They wanted to use the onside kick to start the game, and they are successful recovering. Mike Stanton, the quarterback, as the running back, Steve Kerosty, Joe Donovan, Ely Pierce, Manny Fernandez, the wide receivers, as the Wildcats on the Blue Eagle 41-yard line to start the game. Stanton, quick pass, Ely Pierce. Pierce turns it up at the 35-yard line, and he is dropped there by Damon Geese. As Damon Geese with the tackle, and they'll say a 6-yard gain for Ely Pierce as Stanton completing his first pass. And the Plymouth defense, they had 3 excellent linebackers, as Coach Joe Kelly pointed out in the pregame remarks. And they are the concern for the Wildcats. As Fernandez in motion. Kevin Burns, excellent yardage. Burns slicing down to the 22-yard line, and the Wildcats will get a first down as Kevin Burns on the draw play. As Weymouth has come out quickly with the onside kick, and then going to the quick pass to Pierce, and the run by Kevin Burns to the 23, first and 10 Wildcats. As Michael Taylor breaking through, Taylor down to the 6-yard line. Michael Taylor dropped by Jimmy Shea, but Michael Taylor and the Wildcats have just ripped off yardage left and right. Plymouth is stunned, and they want a timeout with 8:58 to go in the first period, and the Wildcats threatening to get on the board first. As you look at an unusual situation, look at Athletic Director Bob Donovan and the Wildcat coaches up top. As Weymouth coaches on the visitor's side, as the setup here at Romano Field, a better vantage point is the press box platform we were shooting from is on top of the hill. First and goal, Wildcats from the 7. Stanton cuts it in nicely. Mark trying to head to the corner, and Stanton gets cut down at the 1-yard line as Mark turned it upfield nicely as David DeRocher in on the stop. Second and goal at about a yard and a half away for a touchdown for the Wildcats, who recovered the onside kick to start the game. And Scott Gerard, I would give credit to find out if that he was the one who recovered it. And from there, the Wildcats have just moved it downfield. as Steve Kersey scores. Steve Kersey on an off-tackle play just sliced it in for the touchdown, and the Wildcats are on top 6-0 with 8:15 to go in the first period. Michael Taylor, who had an excellent run in that drive, will try to make it a 7-0 game.
Get some hot candy there.
Taylor and the Wildcats lead 7-0 as they cover an onside kick to start the game and convert it with a Steve Kersey run. 41-yard drive by the Wildcats as Steve Kersey finishing it off. Michael Taylor hitting the point after, and Michael Taylor to kick off for the Wildcats. Cito Berry, Marcus Lopes, two dangerous individuals deep as Taylor drills it high, and it's going to be Marcus Lopes. 30, 35, down the sidelines, and dropped. As Cito Berry knocked down at the midfield stripe, and that is where Plymouth will have it. And Weymouth was offsides on the kickoff, so Plymouth will definitely decline the penalty, take the excellent field position, as the Blue Eagles will have it at midfield. As Cito Berry, excellent return. He is one of the starting running backs in the Wishbone offense. Coach Cat Stevens, David DeRocha switched over from running back to quarterback. Will run the attack. Berry and Lopes, two excellent backs. And the Plymouth offensive line. As Plymouth will not have the excellent field position. They'll say that Berry went out of bounds at his 44-yard line. The Wildcats try to slow down that Plymouth running game, which was devastating against Barnstable, and Berry the call. And he is cut down from behind before he can accelerate into the hole. As cornerback Jim Taylor came across and made the play. As Taylor with the tackle, second down and 9 for the Blue Eagles, and the Wildcat defense, which at times has been outstanding during the season, and at times has had a great deal of difficulty slowing down the opposition. It's been an up and down year for this ball club, and they look to change things around and finish up strong. Mr. Rocher on the keep. David cuts it back inside, slips and goes down as it gets to midfield. As Roy Ward will get credit for the tackle, but Roy more or less slipped himself in trying to make the stop on the play, and it'll be third down for the Blue Eagles. They'll need to get it to the Wildcat 46. They'll need 5 on this third down situation. And it's just on the way, the Wildcats driving for the touchdown as the two linebackers, Joe Donovan and Adam Good, will be relied on to come up with big performances. Donovan closing in on the all-time Weymouth High tackle record. Needs 13 in the final 2 games to tie the record. As Cito Berry trying to get outside, Michael Taylor holds him off. Berry's second effort will get the first down. As Cito Berry is dropped by Adam Good, but Cito Berry could have been caught short of the first down, but he got away with extra effort and gets the first down to the 41. It's excellent running by Cito Berry, gets him the first down. The Blue Eagles now go to the I formation. DeRocha to run the option. Pitching back wildly, Berry gets a nice hop, and Cito gets dropped for a loss by Adam Good and Jay Wilson. As David DeRocha with a bad pitch, but the break for the Blue Eagles, the fact that it bounced back right into Cito Berry's hands. He played it just like a shortstop and prevented what could have even been worse situation for the Blue Eagles, possibly losing the football into just a loss of 7, 2nd and 17.
2nd down and 18.
As DeRocha will throw his first pass. With pressure, deep. Roy Ward almost with the interception. Intended receiver was Jason Morgan. But the Wildcat cornerback had a good opportunity to intercept the pass. Very interesting start so far, 3rd and 17 for Plymouth. As the Wildcats march nicely. Plymouth got a first down on this possession so far, and a great one by Cito Berry, who comes around on the reverse. Berry trying to get outside. Excellent play, Joe Donovan. As Donovan cut him down at the ankles, and it'll be 4th down as the bad pitch put Plymouth in a hole in the Wildcat defense, took advantage of it, and Plymouth will be kicking the football away. And the one situation as far as Plymouth is concerned, the wind in their face. Again, a position of where the field position becomes important. It's DeRocha to punt. On the line is David. Does the job in putting it inside the 20, down at the 17-yard line. And the Wildcats, as far as first possessions go, getting a good start. As they'll have the ball at the 16, 1st and 10. And the key is going to be moving the football away from the shadow of your own end zone and making things happen. Fernandez in motion. Stanton hands off. And a good run by Kevin Burns as Burns crosses the 20 and out to the 22. As Kevin Burns, who had a 15-yard run on the Wildcats' first possession,
2nd down and 4.
sets up a 2nd and 4 situation, and the Wildcats getting off to a good start. It's just a matter of continuing that start. A week ago against Falmouth, they moved for a touchdown in their first possession, and then were flat for a couple of quarters after that. It was on 2nd and 4. Straight ahead goes Steve Keresy, and he is close to a first down as Keresy gets it out to the 26-yard line. And looking across field, it is very close, as they will measure to see if Keresy did get the first down. As the Wildcats looking to get a little versatility in the offense as far as the running game goes, to make it easier for Mark Stanton to throw the football. You can see the distance Weymouth will have to go on 3rd down.
Come on, Steve! Come on!
As offensive coordinator Kevin Cobbin gives Mark Stanton and Michael Taylor the play on this 3rd down and about a foot to go situation. With 3:45 to go first period, Weymouth on top 7-0. As Fernandez in motion. Stanton just dives ahead, and Mark will get the first down. As Eric Telford with the tackle, as Mark and the Wildcats just going the easy way and getting the first down. First and 10 Weymouth, as the Wildcats at their own 27-yard line. Keresy deep back in the eye, and Fernandez in motion. Option pitch, Keresy trying to turn it outside. Steve will not be able to as Damon Geese came up and close from his quarterback position and made the stop. As Damon came up and played it absolutely perfectly and did not allow Steve Keresy to turn upfield. And no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. And for the Wildcats, situation with the little wind that there is here, that it is at their back here in the first quarter. It's Fernandez in motion. Stanton to throw. Mark will run instead on a nice pump fake. Stanton puts on an excellent move, and Mark is very close. In fact, depending on where they mark it, he may have the first down. As with a good pump fake, he just headed upfield, and Stanton is a Blue Eagle shaken up on the play. But Mark Stanton, very close to a first down. We'll take a break. 2:19 to go, first period, 7-0 Weymouth. David Geese was shaken up in the play and came off under his own power. Mark Stanton getting the first down as the Wildcat quarterback with a nice piece of running on that play. Fernandez in motion. Toss pitch, Taylor just puts his head down, and Michael crosses the 40 and gets it out possibly to the 41-yard line as Jimmy Shea and Eric Telford closed in quickly and knocked down Michael Taylor. Wildcats get 4 on the first down play, 2nd and 6. Something that they've been able to do so far is get good yardage on first down.
2nd down and 6. Wildcats ball on their own 41.
So Wildcats started the game with an onside kick that they recovered at the Plymouth 41. It's Joe Donovan spinning and pushing his way across the 45 to about the 46. As Joe will be short of a first down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd down as Ed Daly's a nose guard. And Telford also in on the stop. We'll get back to the Wildcat opening drive. Scott Gerard recovering the onside kick. And then the Wildcats just move the ball very efficiently with Steve Kersey finishing off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. Fernandez in motion, 3rd and 1. And second effort is going to get Weymouth a first down as Kevin Burns with a nice piece of running. Kevin was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but Kevin spun away and got the first down to the 49-yard line. As we go under a minute here in the first period, and Weymouth with one of their sharpest quarters of the 1992 season, as the Wildcats have been able to do some things very nicely here in this opening quarter. Stanton on play action and the pressure. Deep! And just out of the reach of Ely Pierce, who was behind the secondary as Ely had everybody beat. Mark Stanton just had a little too much on it. Wildcats almost adding to a 7-0 lead. Mark Stanton just a shade too much on the pass. And Weymouth. Ely Pierce, sophomore, who's just going to get better and better. As Fernandez in motion. Toss pitch, Michael Taylor slices upfield and a marker down. And that's in a situation as Taylor was going down. Face mask penalty on the Blue Eagles. I was going to be hesitant on what the call would be because in that type of situation too, you could always have a holding call. And a 5-yard inadvertent face mask will keep it.
3rd down and 2.
2nd and 2 as the Taylor run.
Now it's 3rd down. Get down over. Go, we go!
It was 3 yards out of the face mask penalty. And 19 seconds, clock ticking away. We may have one more play here in this first quarter. Nine, 8, 7, the Wildcats apparently be content to run the play next period. Instead, they will get it off as Stanton, pressured, gunning it deep downfield, and overthrown. Stanton going deep for Fernandez, doesn't get the completion, and the first period comes to an end. And after 1 quarter of play, it is the Wildcat second quarter about to start here at Romano Field. And as you look at some of the crowd here at the Plymouth North High School facility, and Weymouth faced with a 3rd and 2 situation. as the Wildcats have gone deep on the last two pass plays and just misconnecting. 3rd and 2. And movement all over the place, and it's going to be on Weymouth. As the top part of your screen, the movement on the Wildcats. Right side of their line, it will cost them. Instead of having 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 7 situation. A disciplined situation. Plymouth started moving. And you have to be able to let him come into you and take the contact. But a mistake by the Wildcats, and we'll see if it'll cost them as a 3rd and 7 situation. Stanton just gets it on the handoff. Excellent run. Kevin Burns, first down. As Kevin Burns comes up with another big run. As Plymouth just came crashing in, and Mark Stanton just getting the handoff to Kevin Burns, and the Wildcats do cash in on 3rd and 7 and get the first down to the 34-yard line.
1st and 10 on the Eagles 34.
Plymouth very active with their defense. Coach Joe Kelly saying in the pregame remarks, a 5-3 defense that is very, very active, and he expected to give it the Wildcats fits. Weymouth doing well against it so far. Taylor not on that play, only getting 3. It's Taylor tripped up by Jimmy Shea. 2nd and 7.
Second down and 8.
Second quarter, just about a minute old. 7-0 Weymouth. And the Wildcats trying to add to it with this possession. Stanton. Quick pass, nice catch. Hilly Pierce turns it outside nicely. Pierce gets somersaulted. But Hilly Pierce is one tough individual. And he turned it up nicely. And the sophomore getting it inside the 15 to the 11. And a first down for the Wildcats as Hilly, when he catches the football, knows what to do in turning upfield. And as he showed that in the game last week against Falmouth. 1st and 10 Wildcats from the 11 as the Wildcats looking to add to the lead as a busted play. Kevin Burns still making the best of it as Burns crossing the 10 to the 8 as the middle of the Plymouth defensive line blocked it up. Here's Eric Telford.
Tackle by Russo and Telford.
Made the tackle, 2nd down. Wildcats will need 7 for a first down, 8 for a touchdown. As Weymouth
Plug it up.
beginning this drive from their own 16-yard line. Stanton in trouble. Mark doing some nice running as Mark had nowhere to go. It's still got a yard out of the play, but the situation was that Stanton was looking for some avenue to go, and Mark was cut off at every avenue as Plymouth pursued the play very nicely and forced the Wildcat quarterback into a very tough run. 3rd and 6. Excellent pursuit by the Plymouth defense on that play. In the 3rd and 6 situation, and the Wildcats have been able to come up with big plays on 3rd down on this possession. And Stanton says we need a timeout. He did not like the look of everything that was going on. 7:04 to go. First half of play. Wildcats 7-0 lead and trying to add to it. Wildcat cheerleaders hoping that their ball club can add to the 7-0 lead. 3rd and 6 situation from the 7. And the Wildcats at about the 1 can get the first down. They would prefer maybe just a shade more for the touchdown. Stanton will run. Mark in trouble. Mark on the fake, and Stanton will run out of bounds. As Stanton runs out at the 6-yard line. And the Wildcats. Quarterback, he pushed out at the 8. Plymouth pursued very nicely. Michael Taylor comes in, and Michael went for 1 in field goals this year against Barnstable. They drove a 34-yarder. And Taylor will try to add to the Wildcat lead. Taylor drives it right through. Michael Taylor drilling a 25-yard field goal, and the Wildcats with 6:51 left in the first half lead, 10-0. Michael Taylor getting a 26-yard field goal as the Wildcats now lead 10-0, moving from their own 16 to the Plymouth 8. Last time, Wildcat kickoff coverage was not what they would like as Cito Perry. As they will go short. Telford, excellent run. Telford cut down Kevin Burns. Wildcats have not put it back well on kickoff so far. And Plymouth very, very close to breaking one. Not only on the first kickoff return by Cito Perry after the Wildcat touchdown, but this one by Eric Telford. As Telford almost took off to the near sidelines. First down, Plymouth. Excellent field position, the 46-yard line. Lopes crashes up to about the midfield stripe. As Lynn Campbell with a stop, 2-yard gain for Marcus Lopes. Second down, Marcus Lopes. Lopes, named in Plymouth history, was Marcus Lopes, who played for Plymouth 4 or 5 years ago. Excellent running back. And now Jeremy Lopes. As it's going to be Cito Perry trying to break one. Perry getting away down the sideline. Perry fumbles the football. But Perry had stepped out of bounds. As Cito Perry getting the first down, and Cito excellent speed. And somebody the Wildcats do not want to see running loose because Cito has to break away speed against Brockton. He had 2 long touchdown runs. In fact, it was the Plymouth offense in that game against the Boxers. First and 10, Blue Eagles from the 41. As they go straight ahead with Tony Shenna. Brought down by Joe Donovan after about a 2-yard gain, second down and 8. As the Wildcat linebacker was right in the hole and made the stop. Second and 8 for Plymouth, and they want to be able to run the football. Do the Blue Eagles with 5:49 to go first half. Against Barnstable, over 300 yards of running, no yards passing. And that dictates a story in a 28-0 game as Lopes on the toss pitch. Turns it up nicely, he'll be close to a first down. There's Lopes. Dropped at about the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2, but the speed of the 2 running backs, Jeremy Lopes and Cito Perry, you can see how evident it is in the Plymouth attack, how key their ability to turn upfield like they just did on the 2 runs so far in this possession. It puts pressure on the outside of the Weymouth defense.
I'll try to get a look and see if we can block it.
There's a first down run by Jeremy Lopes. Cito Perry down to the 25-yard line, and the Wildcat defense being put back on its heels right now. And Cito Perry with the first down run. Cito Blue Eagles. Trying to answer what has been a very strong performance by the Wildcat offense. 10-0 Weymouth, but Plymouth trying to answer back. DeRocha, little pop pass. Mark Jeremy Loves thrown at the 1-yard line. First and goal, Plymouth. DeRocha just floated it out to Lopes. It was wide open. First and goal, and they'll mark it at the 2-yard line as Plymouth, with their ability to run the football, it just opened up everything. On that play, DeRocha had a few receivers he could have gone to, and he got it to Lopes. As Plymouth signaling that they got it in the end zone. It's DeRocha getting it to the 1. Second and goal. 4 minutes to go first half. Plymouth threatening to close the deficit. The Blue Eagles, excellent kickoff return. The key to beginning this drive. Second and goal from the 1. As it's going to be Cito Curry. Cito Curry going off his right side and finding the end zone easily. And the Blue Eagles have closed to within 4. And now the Wildcats will spend the timeout, coming out for a little bit of trickery in the point after. Weymouth will spend a timeout. 10-6 Weymouth, 3:36 to go, first half. And Plymouth once again going to a little bit of trickery. The old lonesome polecat, as they will go for the 2. DeRocha will try to run. DeRocha dives and gets it. Brings the Blue Eagles to a 1-2. It's 10-8. A 54-yard drive by the Blue Eagles. They answer the Wildcats. First 2 possessions. 10-8 ball game. Shapes up as an interesting one. Justin Miller drifts one high that Kersey grabs. Kersey looking for the seam up the middle, and it'll be dropped by the kicker, Justin Miller, at the 25-yard line. There's Steve Kersey trying to get it up the middle. So Weymouth with a 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. And the Wildcats have had 2 excellent possessions so far. They've driven 41 yards for a touchdown. They moved the ball from the 16 to the 8 of Plymouth and got a field goal out of it. 3:30 to go first half. And what little wind there is, now it picks up a little. As I say that, a little bit of gust. 1st and 10 Wildcats as they go into the teeth of that gust. As they go to the draw play, Kersey gets 4. Telford draped all over Kersey. Telford, a very active individual so far here in this first half. For the Wildcats, they'd like to get a good drive.
Wildcat ball.
And continue
On their own 29.
has been good offensive momentum so far. And we go to the draw again. Burns heading outside. Kevin gets away from one tackle. Kevin will bill his way out of bounds at the 38 and a 1st down. Kevin Burns looked like he was in deep trouble after getting about a couple of yards. And it looked like that the Plymouth linebackers, especially Tony Shenna, had a chance to stop him. But Burns pulled away, and Kevin getting the 1st down to put him at the 36-yard line. It's the Wildcats. Football effectively so far. Stanton, quickly Ely Pierce. Pierce cuts back nicely. Ely then just gets what he can get and goes down at the 41. As Jason Morgan makes the tackle on Ely Pierce. Ely tried to turn it outfield. Ely saw about 3 Plymouth players in front of him and then decided it was just, well, I better cover up and call it quits because I'm not going to go that much farther. 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Over the ground they go. Keresy close to a 1st down. As Keresy brought down by Jeremy Lopes, but not before Steve getting the 1st down. 5'6", 165 pounds of Steve Keresy. He just keeps those legs churning and he makes things happen. As Keresy with the 1st down run. 1:48 to go, 1st half. Stanton. Guns it behind, intended receiver. Eric Bell is marked with a marker down on the play. But Stanton going way behind. Eric Bell, an illegal block on the Wildcats is going to hurt them. They push them back. There's a marker from the spot of the foul and a big mistake. Mark Stanton going behind his intended receiver, Eric Bell. And he almost had it picked off. Jason Morgan had a better avenue to the football, and he just couldn't keep his balance as he fell down and trying to make the play on the football. The Wildcat play, even if they had completed, it would have gone for naught. Instead, Weymouth faced with a 1st down and 23. Not a good situation. The way Wildcats have moved the football has been nice, but it takes a little longer to get upfield. The Stanton, dump off Donovan. Slips away from Telford, and Joe getting it out to the 39-yard line, where he is brought down there. As Telford get back into the play, along with number 33, Ben Russo. A short gain. 2nd down for the Wildcats as we head to 1:10 to go. 1st half, 10-8 Weymouth. A very interesting 1st half. Wind there is blowing into the Wildcats' faces on this possession. Stanton, pressure. Mark just covers up. Matt Mayberry would not let Stanton go forward as Mayberry crashed in and made the tackle. And 35 seconds to go, 1st half. 3rd down.
Let the clock run. We don't have time now.
And Plymouth, if you can hear the assistant coaches to my right, saying that they are going to be satisfied the way things are here in the 1st half. 19-18, the Wildcats will take their time. Run one more play. And say it's the end of the 1st half that way. 8 seconds. And now delay Weymouth high. As Weymouth will try to just run one more play. And the thinking is simple. As you look at quarterback Mark Stanton talking to Kevin Codman on what they want to do. Just run a play, don't make a mistake, kill the 1st half, go in 10-8 ahead, because it's your decision to begin the 2nd half. And they don't even have to run the football. Wildcats, the clock has started again. The 1st half is in the books. Let's make sure the 1st half is in the books. The official started the clock again. And I don't know why they would start the clock again. Clock can't start again because after the penalty. One more play, 7 seconds on the clock. as Weymouth.
Watch it hit the lateral.
Just going to the ground. And 3 seconds left. Plymouth will take a timeout.
Put anybody back. Back.
4th and 21. You could look for the Wildcats to just run a play and end the half. We'll see what the Wildcats will do, and probably just Mark Stanton take 2 steps back, put the knee down, and say that's the half. And that's what they have, that type of situation. Stanton will run around, Mark. And he gets dumped out of bounds by Ed Daly, and they will call personal foul on Plymouth. Not the way to end the half if you're Plymouth. As the Blue Eagle band will have to wait before coming out in the field. And one more play. It would be interesting to see what the Wildcats do now in Plymouth territory. Stanton under pressure. Mark. Almost caught by Haley Pierce on the rebound, and it Pierce did. And Wildcats would have stolen 7 points. 1 half in the book. The Wildcats jump out to a 10-0 lead, but have to settle for a 10-8 advantage out of field, as it is a 10-8. Weymouth lead the Wildcats, jumping on top 10-0, and then having to survive a Plymouth drive towards the end of the first half, which they scored on in a Cedar Barry 1-yard touchdown run. And then the 2-point conversion on the old lonesome polecat is Justin Miller to kick off. And the Wildcats, who move the ball well in offense, will have to do it once again. And Justin Miller, who is an excellent kicker, gets it to Burns at the 10. Kevin just keeps pushing his way as Kevin getting it out to about the 19. Weymouth has not exactly had the greatest field position in this game. Plymouth has had the better of the field position. And the Wildcats being able to move the football on the ground has been the key so far. As they will have the football at their own 19. And the Wildcats hoping to continue with their success on the ground. Let's see the deep back in the eye. Stanton quickly. Fernandez tucks the football away, and if Manny can get to the sidelines and get that 1 step, it could be interesting. But Manny doesn't, as he was knocked down on the play by 32, Tony Shenna. Tony Shenna with the stop. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Wildcats ball on their own 30.
Weymouth trying to make things happen with Kevin Burns to the ground, and Burns not going anywhere. Shenna, along with Nathan Harding, cut down Kevin Burns, who tried to break it outside. A loss of 2 in the play, 2nd and 12. Gets the final half of Old Colony League play for the Wildcats. Mind you, Thanksgiving Day, we will bring you the Weymouth Brockton game gone taped away the Friday at 7 p.m. after the game is played, and hopefully the Wildcats can duplicate their success from a year ago. That was a tremendous game, but that's a year ago. And now we go back to present action. Michael Taylor getting back the yardage lost by Kevin Burns plus a couple. And it'll be 3rd and about 8, maybe 9, as Michael Taylor coming back on the counter play. The opportunity at halftime of this game to get down and listen to some scores on the radio just out of curiosity. The North Quincy Taunton game. The Red Raiders were winning that game 6-0 at halftime. By the time you watch this on Dimension 36, you'll know the final score. Stanton to throw on 3rd and 8. And Mark somehow gets out of there. Holy cow, how he ever got out of there was beyond me. As Stanton is going to be short by about a yard. But Matt Mayberry had Mark Stanton wrapped up like a Christmas present. and he almost got him for about a 5-yard loss. Instead, Stanton and the Wildcats will be a yard short. And Mark Stanton pulled a Houdini to get away as he goes out to talk to Coach Kevin Cobbin. Wildcats in the past have known the gamble.
Hey, tell them delay a game. Yell out delay a game.
4th down and 1. You gotta remember Stanton the punter as well. 4th and 1, the Wildcats to gamble. They go to the ground. Kevin Burns, where they mark it, is the key. Kevin Burns will get the first down and add 15 yards as Plymouth may have said something that they did not want to say. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Blue Eagles. Wildcats gamble and come up big on the gamble, getting the first down. It's Mark Stanton with a big run on 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Oh, what a run that was. And Stanton goes over to check. The officials are saying to Plymouth, and the officials are just saying to calm down. The Blue Eagles were very emotional after the run for the first down, and they felt that the mark was not a good mark as far as the football. Mark Stanton and company getting a first down to the 45 now because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. First and 10 Wildcats. Fernandez in motion. Stanton, bootleg left. Mark just checks the football and down the sidelines he goes. Stanton gets wiped out on the play, but gets an excellent gain as Jeremy Lopes with a wicked shot for Mark Stanton. Will be marked out of bounds, and they will put it at the 23-yard line, a 22-yard run. It's the Wildcat quarterback just tucked it under his arm and just took off. First and 10 Wildcats.
Wildcats ball on the Eagles 23. First and 10.
To the ground they go. It is Kersey. Almost a football. Joe Donovan there, however.
Kersey on the carry.
Kersey got hit in trying to spin away, and Joe Donovan, fortunately for Weymouth, right on the spot, fell on the football. 2nd and 12.
Hey, they haven't run that option to the slot yet.
Is Weymouth High coming out, moving the football on the ground.
2nd down and 12.
With the fumble, pushing the Wildcats into a 2nd and 12 situation and see how they react. And slowed down their second drive when they get to the Plymouth 8. A mistake on first down. Is Stanton a quick throw. Pierce with a reception and gets hauled down immediately. Tony Shenoff brings down Pierce. It is a 5-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And the Wildcats will need to get it to the Plymouth 12-yard line. As Weymouth High. Ely Pierce has come up with 3 receptions, and the sophomore split in. The future stars for this Wildcat team that you like the way he just makes a catch and then just tries to turn it upfield. 3rd and 8. Reverse, Fernandez turns the corner, Manning to the sidelines, Manning using his speed and gets it to the 11-yard line, marker down, however. And that could come back. Holding on the Wildcats, and something that they have done a few times this year, cost themselves. Manny Fernandez gets the first down run, and then the Wildcats to shoot themselves in the foot. A big penalty on the Wildcats. Wildcats. It cost them not only a first down at the 11, but possibly an opportunity to get on the scoreboard once again. A big penalty on Weymouth High. Instead of 1st and 10 at the 11, the Wildcats back to the 36-yard line, 3rd down, and they need to get it to the 12. As the play very well run by the Wildcats, but somebody grabbed who they shouldn't have. Stanton in the pressure. Mark on the roll, dump over the middle and drop. Joe Donovan had room to run, and Joe just doesn't look it in and drop the football. It'll be 4th down. Excellent first possession for the Wildcats, but they're going to come up empty in that they were able to move the football. But a couple of penalties really just slowing them down. And Mark Stanton, who is the punter. Mark will try to pooch it. They'll check if they're going to go for it. It's going to be a fake with Michael Taylor. Fernandez trying to push it back. Manning cannot get to it. 5:54, go 3rd period in a 10-8 ball game. It's Plymouth. 1st and 10. And flags down. It's going to be 1st and 15 for the Blue Eagles. And looking back at the situation, as the Wildcats ran the punt play that they have run in the recent weeks. Michael Taylor doing the kicking. Michael unable to put enough air under the football to allow Manny Fernandez the opportunity to run under it and possibly down it inside the 10. 1st and 10 for the Blue Eagles. The 15 checked out. And DeRocha puts air underneath that football and not caught inbounds as Lopes, the intended receiver, Michael Taylor, had a chance to come up with the interception, but Michael was going out of bounds when he got his hands on the football. 2nd down and 15. Second and 15 for the Blue Eagles. DeRocha trying to go around, gets away from Ward and cannot get away from the rest of the Wildcats defense. As DeRocha gets about 9 to play, Adam Good, Jay Wilson make the stop. As the linebacker and safety came over and made the play. DeRocha getting away from quarterback Roy Ward, who just did not keep his footing on the play. 3rd down and the Blue Eagles have to get it to the 30-yard line. As they have it on their own 25-yard line. Wildcats are going to be watching 2 receivers heading out to the top. The screen. One back, that being Shenna. DeRocha just heaves it out, caught. Damon Keese, 1st down, and they will mark it at the 40-yard line as Damon Keese on the out pass just made the reception and just went out of bounds for the 1st down as David DeRocha put it in to Damon Keese's hands very nicely.
1st and 10 on their own 33.
And the Wildcat defense hit the Blue Eagles where they wanted them in a 1st and 15 situation. And something they don't want to do is left them out of the hole and get the football back the way they've been moving it. And a short gain on that play as Plymouth going straight ahead. Cedar Barry getting 40 on the play, 2nd down and 7. And the Wildcats defensive line.
Second down and 7.
Being put to the test with this type of offense. The Blue Eagles
Eagles 36.
have been an excellent running team in this winning streak. And Lopes trying to turn the corner, and Lopes cut down on the play as he gets about 4. Roy Ward got a hand on him and just tripped him up, as Adam Good also getting a hand on him as well. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Eagles ball.
But the one thing the Wildcats worried about was the ability of the two Plymouth backs to turn that corner and make things happen. Cito Barry and Jeremy Lopes. So far, Cito Barry has been superb when he has turned the corner, and he has made things happen. 3rd and 3 from the 40. And Lexner nearly jumps. Barry, and depending on where they mark it,
Barry on the carry.
it may be short.
Tackle by
Cito does get the first down.
First down, Blue Eagles.
To be honest with you, I thought just past the 43, Plymouth needed to get it for the first down. And the officials say no, that Cito Barry, with the effort, does get the first down. It's DeRocha trying to turn the corner, and DeRocha does. DeRocha falls down. He was off to the races and gone. DeRocha doesn't fall down. It is Plymouth taking the lead. Jimmy Taylor gets credit for a tackle by accident because David DeRocha really just tripped himself up. 2:45 to go, 3rd period in Plymouth. And Weymouth both moving the football extremely well in this game. This is going to be a matter of who can stop who first. Toss pitch, fumble on the play. Wildcats, George Papachristos gets it. The pitch just came up short on Jeremy Lopes, and he fumbled the football away, and Weymouth has it. George Papachristos. And the Wildcats will have excellent field position. They're on 47-yard line with 2:24 to go, 3rd period. And Plymouth's first turnover of the game. And we'll see if the Wildcats can take advantage of it. Stanton, screen, Fernandez. Manny getting away. Manny pushed out of bounds at the Blue Eagle 41. As Fernandez got away from the initial hit and just turned it upfield for a first down. Manny has been close a few times this year in breaking that particular play, the Wildcats' leading receiver. And if he ever does get loose, you saw last week with the punt return, how deadly he is. Kersey on the draw play. Kersey gets 5. Marker on the play, backfield in motion on the Wildcats. So the 5 yards by Steve Kersey taken away on the penalty. As the marker is in the Weymouth backfield, and it should be procedure. And as you can see, backfield in motion on Weymouth. Wildcats killing themselves in this game. In some aspects with the penalties. Look back at the holding call and the Fernandez reverse run that possibly took them out away from a potential touchdown drive. Stanton with time, airing it deep, and I don't know if he was throwing it to a spot. Billy Pierce tackles David the intended receiver. Mark Stanton just gunned it downfield. Plymouth football with 1:44 to left in the third period. Mark Stanton had all sorts of time, and he just gunned it downfield. And David DeRocha just said thank you. Blue Eagle football, and they have it at their own 17-yard line. And DeRocha trying to head around the end. DeRocha, nice cut back, and he is going. Michael Taylor to beat. Inside the 10. David DeRocha. Nobody wrapped them up. Nobody wrapped them up. And he just took off to the races. He hit 3 or 4 times when he should have been tackled, but David DeRocha was not going to be denied, and a run from his own 17 all the way to the Weymouth 6-yard line. And now a timeout on the field with 1:27 to go. Third period, and Plymouth threatening to take the lead. David DeRocha with a tremendous run. And the Wildcats help him as they just did not wrap up DeRocha. And the run off tackle to the 2-yard line as DeRocha was marked down at the 4. Cedar Barry to the 2. Second down. DeRocha.
Second down and goal. Ball is on the 2.
79 yards on that run. Unbelievable. The amount of opportunities Weymouth had to wrap them up. And the Wildcats have got to come up big here, and Barry will not let them come up big. Cedar Barry, second touchdown of the ball game. With 44 seconds to go in the third period, Cedar Barry makes it a 13-10 game. As Barry on an off-tackle play found the end zone. Again, well, I was going to say the lonesome polecat, but the Blue Eagles will go to conventional play as DeRocha comes up short on the pass, and with 44 seconds to go, third period, 14-10 Plymouth, but the Wildcats have been moving the football. You can credit David DeRocha for setting up Cedar Barry's second touchdown. His 79-yard run was the key to the drive. And Justin Miller with a high kick. Kersey, sideline. Steve trying to beat Miller. Right down by the kicker in Plymouth territory at the 47-yard line. As Steve Kersey with an excellent return, first down Wildcats, and they had to come up with something. In the remaining 39 seconds of this third quarter, and heading into the fourth, build some momentum for themselves in the final 10 minutes. As the Wildcats have moved the football, and you look at the key plays in this ball game, the DeRocha run, but also you got to look back to that third down situation. Wildcats get the first in reverse. As Kersey spins, it gets 2. Kersey knocked down by Shenna as he spun away, and then Shenna put a nice hit on him, 2nd and 8. But Manny Fernandez, who got the Wildcats a first down on the reverse run, and they were called for holding on the play. It would have been a 1st and 10 situation. Wildcats would have an opportunity to add to their 10-8 lead, but instead, They find themselves down. As the quick screen, Fernandez cuts it in nicely. Manning gets about 4 on the play. On the final play of the third quarter, as Eric Telford on the stop. It'll be 3rd down and 4 when we head to the fourth quarter. 14-10 Plymouth with the lead. 3, 2, 1. Over to the Wildcats sideline as we get ready to start this fourth quarter. They trail 14-10, first time in the game. And they're faced with a 3rd down and 4 situation is head coach Joe Kelly. Just pacing the sidelines, hoping his team can't bounce back. Situation, they had the opportunities to really make things happen and stop themselves, and then some bad tackling hurt the Wildcats. Stanton pressured, marker down, and it's going to come back after this nice run by Mark Stanton. And Weymouth killing themselves once again. Once again, Weymouth, as they have done so many times in this season. I didn't see off-camera view. I was watching assistant coach Kevin Cobbin. He just flipped a piece of dirt in the air. He was just so frustrated. And the play was there for the Wildcats to get the first down, and they just killed themselves. Opportunities have been there for this team to make things happen in this game, and they just made the mistakes. And Plymouth, which has been on a roll as of well, makes things happen. They cashed in on those mistakes and lead 14-10.
Oh, no, we're not switching. Oh, man.
Stanton in trouble. Mark runs out of bounds. Marker down. As Stanton danced out at the 45-yard line, and with the marker isn't the play, and head coach Joe Kelly. And the Wildcats will be penalizing. They just mistakes that just killed them. Wildcats in the hole, 14-10. They trail. And the discussion seemed like a UN meeting. And the Wildcats get called for a holding. Coach Joe Kelly and assistants Kevin Cobbin, Ross Tortora, Tony Manzelli, Rick Worry, and company and Bart Weber have got to be frustrated individuals at this present moment. You look at the situations, they've had some good opportunities, and they have made mistake after mistake. Fernandez coming towards you. Stanton drops it back, screen. Eric Bell. Bell spins away, and on the fumble recovery, Gene Gomes ends up with it. It bounced right to him, and oh, Gene Gomes with one of those look what I found situations. And the Wildcats are fortunate they don't turn the football over. And they'll be kicking the football away. As we go under 9 minutes to go, and the way Plymouth runs the football, it is a situation for the Wildcats do not want to give one good field position to Plymouth, but they have to buckle down defensively and just shut down the Plymouth running game completely. Stanton high snap, and he gets drilled, and that's a personal foul penalty. Kevin Burns watches it go out of bounds. Mark Stanton get drilled on the play. And we'll see if it's roughing or running into it, and it probably is roughing. And the Wildcats may have got a huge break. Roughing the kicker, first down Weymouth. And a break for the Wildcats.
First down, Wildcats.
A situation where Plymouth put the good pressure on the snap, and it's a tough play. But the Wildcats, with 8:25 left, to take advantage of this break. Joe Donovan gets buried at the 35 after a 4-yard gain. Tony Shenna brought down Joe Donovan. As the Wildcats go to the quick hitter and get 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6. The situation right now, the Wildcats get this field position. They have to take advantage of it. They can't afford not to. Stanton quickly. Ely Pierce trying to get to the sidelines. Ely does, as he's knocked out of bounds inside the 30. As Plymouth was there on top of Ely Pierce, David DeRocha brought down the Wildcat sophomore receiver. And they mark it at the 29, 1st down Weymouth. With 7:39 left, and Plymouth up 14-10.
First down, Wildcats.
Very entertaining game. Both teams just throwing haymakers at each other. Toss pitch, Burns cuts it back. Kevin Burns inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, as Kevin brought down by Telford. Eric Telford, very active linebacker, making a nice play. He's been all over the field in this one. 2nd down and 6. And the Wildcats trying to take advantage of a roughing the kicker call.
2nd down.
Fernandez in motion. Taylor gets stuck by Shenna. Anthony Shenna read that play like an open book, and he just closed it quickly in dropping Michael Taylor for a loss. 3rd and 9. Taylor had nowhere to go on that play. Shenna just came blitzing through and made the play. 3rd down and 9. 2-down situation for the Wildcats with 6:30 left. Stanton quickly, Pierce. Ely slides away. Ely down the sidelines. Touchdown! The sophomore wide receiver took the out pass and turned it upfield. And the Wildcats take the lead with 6:16 left. Michael Taylor for the point after. A big one it is, and it's partially tipped and grabbed, and that's a live ball, folks. And he's still going! Holy cow! Jeremy Lopes! Ties the game! And head coach Joe Kelly, I don't know, assistant coach Kevin Carbon, want to talk about that one? I don't know. He's saying that he's down. Or that he rolled the football forward. 16-16, and head coach Joe Kelly is livid. And the scoreboard says it all. One of the crazier set of circumstances. Wildcats score and they give 2 away as Jeremy Lopes 109 yards on the conversion return. Taylor squibs it. Fumbled by the Blue Eagles. Telford brought down at the 41. Now, that conversion return does in a lot of ways. You got to, first of all, credit Jeremy Lopes with a heads-up play and just grabbing the ball and taking it off upfield. One. But what that conversion return does is put this game into a tie, and Plymouth is not under the pressure of having to drive and score that the Blue Eagles can drive and try to pull this game out. Wildcat defense, on the other hand, has got to come up big. Toss pitch, Lopes. It's going to be a tired individual after that 100-plus yard run, and Lopes gets about 4 on the play, second down and 6. As the right side of the Wildcat defensive line is there. Lynn Campbell gets up from the pile along with Joe Donovan. I tell you once again, Joe Donovan close to a Weymouth high career record for tackles. I happened to take a peek over at athletic director Bob Donovan. He's just, I don't know if he's in shock or what after that play. What a strange play. Entertainment-wise, this has been one of the better games of the year. This has been fun. But Cito Barry turning the corner. Barry, and the Wildcats don't tackle, and it's going to cost them. 58 yards, marker down, however. And we could all bring it back. And it so often happens in a high school football game. Or check it, it's touchdown Plymouth. Cito Berry, 58-yard run. And Plymouth takes the lead with 5:15 left. Justin Miller will try to add the point after. Apparently that was a towel that we showed you. There was no penalty flag. It looked to flag somebody's towel, and you know, Justin Miller, who's been hitting extra points effectively this year, now 28 out of 20, no, 19 out of 21, and a big miss. 5:15 left, 22-16, and oh, we've got a finish coming up. Cito Barry's third touchdown of the game gives Plymouth the lead. 22-16, this has been a wild one. And Justin Miller. High spinning kick, Kevin Burns lets it go out of bounds wisely. Cito Barry just turned the corner and took off. Wildcats just did not wrap up Barry. Wildcats making Plymouth kick off again. They had the option of whether to take the football to 35 or not. They feel they could get a better return. And Justin Miller with a high kick. Drifts down on the fly. It's Michael Taylor. Taylor getting it out to the 36-yard line. So when all is said and done, the Wildcats gain a yard. And they're going to need to go 64 more to tie this game up with 5:10 left. And they're in a situation, the way Plymouth has run the football, from about early second quarter on, they do not want to give Plymouth back the football. They've got to make something happen for themselves, or else see themselves go to 3-6 heading into Thanksgiving Day. And they do not want to be doing that against Blackton. Stanton taking a little bit of time. Stanton trying to get away from the pressure. Watt just heaving it downfield, intercepted. David Geese, Mark Stanton threw it up for grabs, and Geese was there. What the Wildcats did not want to see happen does. Ely Pierce on the tackle, but Mark Stanton should have just thrown the football out of bounds. That's all there is to it, but Stanton hung it up to dry, and David Geese just said thank you. And the Wildcat defense has got to come up with a huge stand right here. Make the turnover happen, or else they're in trouble as Lopes turns the corner nicely. First caller, Jay Wilson with a tackle. in Weymouth territory. As Wilson dropped him at the 44-yard line and a gain of 7 on the play, and the Wildcats in deep trouble. 4:51 left as Wilson forced Lopes out of bounds. 2nd and 3. Plymouth now playing the clock. Mistakes. There's procedure. Plymouth making a mistake this time. Wildcats have just hurt themselves with the mistakes. Mistakes with penalties have really been the situation that Weymouth will look back at this one and have to shake their heads about. And it's something that they have just really cost themselves. Second down and 7. And DeRocha, who's been able to run the option nicely, stays in bounds, turns it upfield for about 3. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Joe Donovan, who's been all over the field in this one, makes the tackle. 3rd down. Wildcat defense has got to make Plymouth pay for the procedure penalty. So after this play is run, we'll be heading on to 4 minutes left. Lopes on the pitch, cuts it back. Lopes gets swallowed up. Close, depending on the mark. Hugh Cunningham, they say, makes the tackle. And it'll be 4th down as they will measure. And you know, Plymouth, even if they're short, is going to go for it. Because they'll be about a yard away with 3:51 left. Less than a yard away. Fourth down and a yard for the Blue Eagles. And Plymouth, you can hear the assistant coaches to the right saying that consideration is now they're going to go for it. They wanted to take the delay. So, toss pitch, Cito Berry, bottled up, Cito, pushed out of bounds. Now where they mark, it's the key. They're going to measure. This one, folks. First down, Plymouth, and that hurts. Weymouth. And it's about as close as you can get with 3:25 left. The Wildcats just could not put away Cito Berry, who's come up with that great second effort in this one. That is a killer right there. Cito Berry getting the first down. Berry again, procedure on Plymouth. With 3:22 left, it's going to be 1st and 15. The Wildcats hit Plymouth a couple of times in the 1st and 15 situation and let them off the hook. Wildcat defense getting worn down just a little bit. 3 minutes, 22 seconds left, 22-16 Plymouth. As Plymouth on a Cito Berry 58-yard run took the lead. The Lopes conversion run is a big one right now as that tied the game as Berry to the outside. Taylor doesn't get him. Cito Berry with a run that could just about put this one away. Cito down to the Weymouth 20-yard line. And Cito Berry is just getting stronger and stronger as this game has progressed. Wildcats have not exactly been the best of the day's tackling either, but Cito Berry has also been one of the reasons as he's made some strong moves. Toss pitch. Barry just surveys, looks to turn the corner. Barry does. To the 16, Adam Good on his back, drops him. Joe Donovan broke up the play, and Adam Good made the tackle. And timeout Weymouth, and they're going to start spending them. 2:56 left, 22-16 they trail, and they're going to have to come up with a big defensive stand. For the Wildcat defense, they're going to have to come up with the plays. That's all there is to it. If they don't, they'll see this one slip away in a game that, they had opportunities. DeRocha, quarterback draw, runs it perfectly. Well-run play, first and goal at the 6. Michael Taylor on the tackle. David DeRocha ran the quarterback draw perfectly. And we go to 2:48 and counting, and the Blue Eagles look like they're on the way to their 4th in a row, and the Wildcats look back at the mistakes they have made and just cringe at them unless they can come up with a big play. Donovan showing blitz. Joe almost got Jeremy Lopes. He slowed the play down. Lopes to the 4. Timeout Weymouth with 2:24 left. The Wildcats are in a situation, even if Plymouth is stopped, the Blue Eagles have a situation. Justin Miller, an excellent field goal kicker, can make it a 9-point deficit, but Plymouth would rather have this situation happen. Cito Berry's 4th touchdown of the day. A 4-yard run up the middle as Plymouth 28-16, 2:17 left. As the Blue Eagles cash in on the interception by Damon Geese. And look to just ice this one completely. Plays in this one. Plymouth will go for the 2. And timeout Plymouth is. There was a lot of confusion on who should be out there. Blue Eagles want to make sure it's a 2-touchdown and plus conversion advantage as they go for the 2. DeRocha just heaving it. Wildcats had an opportunity if Jimmy Taylor hangs on to go the other way with it. 28-16, 2:17 left, and the Wildcats would have to have a miraculous finish. Cito Berry's 4th touchdown of the day, and the fact of the matter is, the Wildcats have made the mistakes. Plymouth has cashed in on them, and that's the reason it's a 28-16 game. And Joe Donovan with a nice catch of the football. Justin Miller brings him down at the 38-yard line, and the Wildcats have 2:11 to make up 12 points. And Mike Stanton, Manny Fernandez, Ely Pierce. For wide receivers, Joe Donovan and Steve Kerosene, Michael Taylor, and Kevin Burns in the other skill position all have the ability to make up 2 touchdowns in 2:11. The Wildcats have to score as fast as you can score. And they'll have to give Mark Stanton the protection. Plymouth will be teeing off and coming after Stanton. Stanton running. Stanton pushed out of bounds at the 37. As Plymouth, Ben Russo made the stop on the Wildcat quarterback. And you know what? Yeah, bring down the situation, make it doom and gloom. And the fact is, the Wildcats had an opportunity to really just take control of this game and put it away. And they made a couple of big mistakes. Plymouth cashed in on those mistakes, and that has been the difference. Stanton on the roll. Complete at the Plymouth 44-yard line at a first down. As making the reception is Eric Bell, who's been injured with an ankle injury most of the year, and Eric's shaken up on the play. They'll check on Eric, and we'll be back. Eric Bell shaken up on the play, came off under his own power. He's over on the sidelines getting a breath. First down Wildcats, but bringing back to the list of mistakes in this one that the Wildcats made, and it just put them in the hole. Stanton zipping one over the middle, intercepted, and David LaRoche wraps it up. Stanton tried to force it over the middle for Jimmy Taylor, and that will do it. With 1:34 left, Plymouth will just grind out the clock. And you look back at the mistakes that this Wildcat team makes as they get ready for Thanksgiving Day. This Weymouth High, you look back at it was a 10-7 ball game in the third. The Wildcats driving towards the end zone. The reverse that got them the first down to the Plymouth 11. Weymouth makes a huge mistake, a holding penalty. And then when they get the fall behind, 16-14. Check it, we'll talk about that in a moment, as Plymouth staying to the ground, getting a couple of yards. As Shenna to the 34-yard line, DeVincentis makes the tackle. And Plymouth, not to take anything away from them, they've run the ball exceptionally well after the second quarter on. But the fact, too, you look at some of the mistakes that Weymouth made, and you look back when they fell behind 14-10. And then got the Ely Pierce touchdown reception, and then had the conversion return against them. It was 16 all, and then right away Plymouth with two quick hits on the conversion. But Cito Berry's 58-yard run, and that just simply put the Wildcats in a hole. 22-16. Mark Stanton then threw a bad pass, and it hurt Weymouth because Plymouth turned it into another Cito Berry touchdown. As Mark, under that particular play, had so much pressure, he just could not find anybody. He just threw it up for grabs and had it picked off. And Plymouth will go on to a 5-4 mark of Silver Lake Thanksgiving, Weymouth and Brockton Thanksgiving, and hopefully the Wildcats turn things around for themselves. It will be a chore as the Wildcats will flash the scoring one more time for you. We'll have to figure something out. It'll be their first losing record. And the head coach Joe Kelly in 6 years. As Weymouth High will drop to 3-6 in the two-game winning streak come to an end, and Plymouth defeats the Wildcats 28-16. A game where the Wildcats will just look back at all the mistakes they made. Cito Berry, 4 touchdowns in this one. Plymouth defeats